An Evening with Eros is brought to you by Hermes Wireless.
Hello, darlings. I'm so glad you've decided to join me for another evening with Eros, the only place on the interscroll where I take the time to counsel the lovelorn and the sexually frustrated. Let's begin. Our first question comes from Surrounding Third. She writes, Dear Eros, I'm beside myself. Years ago, my sister was dating a major sea god. I happened to meet him when he came to pick her up for a date, and from that moment on, he dumped her and started chasing after me. He was so persistent that I literally ran away from home to try and get away from him. Not only was I not attracted to him, but I had planned to remain a virgin for life. Okay, now I don't judge or anything, but seriously? You do know that most people write into this show for help in losing their virginity, and you're trying to stay that way? Well, eventually, my future husband's best friend, a really sweet dolphin god, tracked me down and convinced me that marriage was a good idea. So the next thing you know, I'm a sea queen. I wish I could say the sex was good, but it never has been. And worse, my husband is constantly running off and having affairs. I'm miserable and I don't know what I should do.
Baby, snookums, sweetums, I only got eyes for you. There ain't no other. Humana.
First and foremost, I'm very sorry to hear about your woes. Adultery should never be tolerated. You need to go to that husband of yours and tell him you're not going to stand for it. And if he doesn't stop, the marriage is over. Okay, that was my divinely correct answer. But darling, what I'd really do is appreciate the fact that if Aquahubby's out chasing tailfin, you've got carte blanche to roam the ocean and see what fish are in the sea for you. I'm sure that by the end of this little experiment, you'll forget you even wanted to remain virginal. Really, I mean, Our next question is about one of my favorite shapes, the love triangle. Maiden 22 writes, Dear Eros, a long time ago, a winter spirit took a fancy to me and more or less kidnapped me so I would be his bride. He really did love me and did his best to treat me well, but I was pretty miserable being cooped up in his ice palace. Eventually, I was able to get the door open, and as luck would have it, a summer spirit was passing by. It was lust at first sight. I was about to run off with him when my husband got home. The two of them fought and eventually decided that I would split my time with them. The warm seasons with one and the cold with the other. Fast forward to now, and I have to say, I've grown really to love them both. My winter husband is kind and sweet and faithful and always takes care of me. But my summer husband is exciting and passionate and dangerous. I love both, but I feel guilty that I'm not giving my all to either one. What should I do? Sincerely, Maiden 22.
Hey, baby. Why, hello.
Let's review. You've got two gods, both of whom you love a great deal and who also love you in return. Both of whom are aware of this little arrangement. Both of whom you have amazing, yet presumably different sex with. Both of whom are still fine with this little arrangement. What to do? What to do? I know. Enjoy it. Hello? You've got something that most deities would give up godhood for. Ditch the guilt, sister. Enjoy both of your husbands, season by beautiful season. That's all the time I have for tonight. And that's all the advice I've got to give. Until next week. If you have any questions, send them to me.
You can find me on the higher heavenly highway at hhh.eveningwitheros.div or on the mortal internet at www.aneveningwitheros.com.
Until then, be safe, have fun, and think of me while you do. Nighty-night.